Hey, my name is Zach, and welcome back to another toy review. You remember me, right? Now I've been gone for about like 2-3 months, hopefully. Hasn't been that long, has it? Jesus Christ. But so far I've just been here in my new space area. As you can see, I have my own little office now, and my own house. I am now a big boy. But making videos is something that I've just been wanting to do, but just haven't had the motivation to do. But I am finally here, and after being here, vacation time, and finally to now, I think I found like a good little spot to continue with what I do and what I kind of love to do. So we're going to take a look at two S.H.Monsterarts figures. King Ghidorah, the special colored version, RIP my wallet, and Mechagodzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. Now before we get on to our three-headed dragon, let's take a look at this mechanical piece of shit. Just kidding, I love this guy. The figure itself looked absolutely amazing. The mechanical detail is absolutely mind-blowing and is so well done, and the paint job is absolutely amazing. Now, even though I love the paint job, it's kind of disappointing. The whole figure is pretty much just a silver coloring with hints of red at the tip of the spines here. That's pretty much the only real color, unless you count his eyes as well. But in the film, he was packed full of coloring, and it's just kind of a shame that the red kind of highlights are not in the figure. It's just kind of plain, to be honest. But honestly, this figure is nothing more than plain. If you just take away that color aspect, he is packed full of mechanical detail. It is quite amazing. The stomach area and the thigh areas I absolutely love. I absolutely love the little pistons that are there that do kind of rotate when you do move the leg. It does go in and out, and it does look very nice. Also, another favorite part are the knees. I really do like just this kind of graded look. I really do love the way that looks. And the face as well is absolutely menacing looking, especially with those tiny little red eyes. And the tail is amazing. He also has these secret little missiles. If you come in here with kind of a part separator, do not use a knife. I do not recommend that. But if you do use a little part separator, you can easily access these tiny missiles at the chest, and they look underwhelming, to be honest. Pretty much barely notice it's there, but it is pretty nice. I wish there is some little red. You could probably do that yourself. I am scared to, but I kind of do want to. But you can easily paint the little dots red just to give it some kind of coloring. He also does have some missiles hidden as well in the shoulders. If I can just pop that out, and there you go. You got some shoulder missiles. And unlike the stomach, you can actually see these missiles. But again, still a little underwhelming, but it is a cool little hidden feature. You barely get anything. You pretty much get these two alternate hands, which look kind of funny to me. I honestly don't know how you would use these in a display setting, to be honest. I prefer these hands, but you can even swap them out as well if you just pop them on out of the socket. And you can pretty much mix match the hands as you want. But honestly, that's just kind of a pathetic little feature. I wish we had something different. For the price you get him at, lack of accessories is pretty much inexcusable. He is very expensive, and I pretty much did complain about that on my Instagram. The lack of accessories was so underwhelming. I wish he had so much more, like a beam effect or some other tail accessory or something like that. Just something to give us a little more than what we got. But that doesn't mean the figure is all that bad. I am pretty satisfied with my purchase, and I do like the posability on him. For posability, the head can go up that far and down that far. He does have some movability here and some side to side. As for accessories, different types of joints that you can move up and down at the head and up and down at the neck part as well. Both, I believe, are on ball joints. It does have some very nice butterfly joints at the arms hinge joint at the shoulder pad, swivel at the elbow, arm can move up that far, swivel at the elbow, hinge joint at the elbow as well, swivel at the hand, which can go up and down a little bit since it is on a ball joint. No way swivel at all. It's kind of bullshit. Leg can rotate about that far and that far, but do be careful with these. The instructions actually suggest that you pop these out individually to give them a farther joint, but honestly, it's really not a big of a difference if you leave them on or not. Just be careful with these little parts. They probably could break off. It also does have some swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, kind of a double bend I guess, some up and down at the foot, and a pretty nice pivot. The tail is also very articulated. I'm not going to go over all the articulation, just counting all the ball joints and stuff, but that is so smooth. Like, I absolutely love the tail on this figure. It is just so nice to pose. It's just a really nice, it's just a nice tail. Definitely a lot better than the Godzilla. All in all, the figure is it's pretty good. I absolutely love the figure. He's such a really awesome addition to the collection. I just wish he came with more accessories, he was painted a little better, and he had a waist swivel. Those are kind of the major flaws with that. But honestly, he is very nice. So, we're going to go into his little size comparison. Here he is next to the 2019 Godzilla, the Godzilla vs. Kong, King Kong, and the King Ghidorah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Before we get into the review of this big guy, I want to show you how huge he is. This guy is absolutely a massive motherfucker, and I don't know how I'm going to get him on camera, but I'm going to try my best. But you can see that this guy is absolutely huge. Again, RIP my wallet. Here we have the 2019 special colored version, King Ghidorah. And I can already tell that I have him on these little stands because his crippled ass can't stand on his own. But we're going to start off with those little accessories real quick. He does have 2 of these little stands, and he also comes with much larger ones, so we can go into what I've heard have been called Big Dick Energy Mode. Now this figure absolutely looks phenomenal. The huge size of him and the amazing amount of painting and the detailing is just so amazing. From what I've seen in a bunch of different reviews on the original King Ghidorah, there was a huge lack of paint, especially in the back of the figure. I can safely say that the back of the wings are amazingly painted as well. And in certain lighting, the gold really shines through. And also the paint job was that kind of weird, very dull looking yellow. So this one really crushes that original design. And it looks really amazing. Now, there were a lot of complaints on the figure about certain things, and I do have my own complaints as well, but so far, from all the reviews that I've seen, they pretty much fixed those issues. Now, I know everyone's copy of the figure is not going to be exactly the same. Some of them are always going to have their own issues, but so far, from the issues I've seen, the wings were freakishly loose on some of these people's reviews, and I could say that the wings are absolutely tight. Especially for mine, that is a little too tight. So we're gonna get that out of the way. So you're able to just pop the wing off, but as you can see, the peg is still stuck inside. Now it was to do with kind of my fault. I did accidentally put the actual peg joint in the wrong way. I honestly didn't know if there was a difference or not, but that resulted in the peg getting stuck in the wing. Now honestly, that's not too big of an issue with me, but it does not look as good as it does on the other side, because there is a weird little gap on this side, and it's kind of nice and flush with this side. So just be careful on how you're putting on the wings. I suggest probably reading the instructions or just watching some other YouTube video, but there is a certain way to do that. I still really don't know. I don't really care to know. I'm just gonna stay away from the wings. I'm just gonna keep them on for as long as possible. And the heads. Now, I did see some reviews on some of the heads that they just give off this kind of look, but for some reason, this head, unlike these other two, really wants to shout. This absolutely is amazing. Now, unlike these other heads, they really cannot do that unless I actually pull down harder, and I really don't want to, especially him. His is really tight. But you can see the difference in whose mouth is wider. Don't mind me. Another issue a lot of people had is with the back of the tail. Jesus Christ, I absolutely hate picking this guy up. It's so scary. Is with the tail. The tails are nice and solid. I absolutely love that. I was so worried on when I was going to get him, but I am happy to say that he's pretty much flawless. Now, with the paint is kind of durable, but I don't really trust it that much. I know this thing could probably chip, and straight out of the box, this thing, and it's already chipping, as you can see on my finger. Okay, let's restart. The painting on this figure is absolutely amazing looking, but do be careful because he definitely chips. This guy is going to be chipping all over the place. I'm barely even handling him, and I already see the flakes from his gold paint. Now, that is a huge shame. I wish they would have done something a lot stronger, but I think it does look very nice, and the end result is super amazing looking. This guy just looks so awesome, especially in this lighting where the gold just shines off of it so well. It's so just phenomenal. And his accessories, he doesn't got any. I figure if this size is amazing on its own, but is it worth the $200+ without accessories? I don't think so. I wish they would have included just something like the beam effect parts that he has, or just something a little different, just something to give him more, you know? Because honestly, I don't think the $200 price is... Okay, hear me out. I do think it is a little worth it. I do think the price is worth it because this figure is nice and solid. Again, I don't know about your copies that you might get, but honestly, in my opinion, this guy is amazing to have, and honestly, I do think he's worth the money. I just wish he had more accessories because he doesn't even have any. The only thing he's got is these little poles with the extra parts and this little crotch grabber, which honestly is very nice to have. But he stands up pretty fine even without it, but I just wish he came with something that just made the character more, you know, like the lightning effects parts on those, or the tips of the wings or something, just to make this figure worth that price, because this is like almost a $300 figure, and I just wish it could have had a little bit more. That's pretty much my only rant on that. That and the paint chipping are the only two things I have a problem with. Before we get to posability, the detailing on the figure is absolutely amazing, and if you can kind of see, he's got some amazing beady red eyes. It is so awesome looking. This guy just looks... And as for posability, the heads are going to be pretty much all the same. They did take a little bit of time just to kind of get them used to all their posability, but they do some amazing curves, and it is so amazing, very snake-like to be honest, and I absolutely love it. Now again, paint chipping, be very careful with it, but with posing it, very, very nice. Pulling the figure very gently, he does have some arm posability, but I mean, without the struts, this is pretty much useless. No waist posability as well, but it's whatevs. He does have some swivel at the thigh, some up and down at the knee, swivel at the ankle, and somewhat of a pivot. It kind of works together with the ankle part and the foot, so you get somewhat of a pivot. He does have the very nice posability at the tail. For posability, he has some options, but honestly one of my favorites, and my wife's favorite as well, is the flying pose. It looks amazing. I don't know how else to do it. Jesus Christ, please don't drop it. The flying pose looks absolutely amazing looking. So getting him in a flying pose and keeping him there is definitely going to be an awesome would be an awesome pose, but to get him in that position, you would need some stuff on your ceiling. But yeah, other than that, it's amazing. Size comparison with everybody here, it's clear that he is the huge ass motherfucker. Now, these two do have a lot of flaws with them, but honestly, I say they are worth it. It is kind of just up to you whether you guys can afford and really do want these figures. And something I forgot to mention, he does have a hinge joint, which does go really far. Really do like that. And the detailing in the mouth is absolutely amazing. But these guys are absolutely amazing. Really do like this line. This guy is amazingly huge. They all have their flaws with them, but I think this line is holding up pretty nicely, and honestly, I am excited to see what other S.H.Monsterarts figures that are going to come out in the future. So, my overall review on these guys up here, I really do like them. Again, there was the problems and stuff, but honestly, I think they're pretty much worth it. But that is going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'm happy to be back. This was actually kind of fun to do, and I can't wait to do like the editing stuff as well. Again, so sorry I've been gone for so long, if you actually do care. But I've just been having a blast with like getting the new house. I've had a lot of fun with the Comic-Con, meeting some amazing people that are just great at what they do on shows and stuff. But other than that, I think that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys, hopefully not in 2 years, in the next video.